Pat Heater, Post Material Handling. It's April 7th, 2021, in the midst of a pandemic, and I would like to introduce you to our drum conditioner and post lift. The premise behind this machine is we have a lot of customers with highly compacted materials. It's like a solid chunk of clay inside this drum. You invert it, it will not come out. So this will break it up into small chunks that will you can get out of the drum. It doesn't break it, it doesn't size it. It just makes it so you can remove the materials. And I'll just run through a quick little. I'll close the arms. It's very sophisticated. It has a proportional control where you can adjust the amount of pressure. And one of the reasons behind that is this will adapt to a large variety of drums. This is a very large 200-liter drum, highly compacted materials. And you notice the taper on this drum. The arms will just, on their own, articulate, automatically adjust to a tapered drum and still apply the right amount of pressure and at the right angle. And it can lift a tapered drum, it can lift a straight drum. These arms come off very easily too. So you can, right now it's configured for 8 points of contact with that mechanical advantage, with that angle in there. So it gets a lot of compressive force on this drum. You see the action there. And that's only 40 PSI. We put out over 2,000 pounds of pressure on your drum. So this could easily destroy a drum, but what we have proportional control. So I'll start a quick cycle. I'll open this up, and being this a large drum, if we start the cycle, what it does is it closes nice and gently, and it knows the position of the arm. So it'll go nice and gentle, and it'll measure the size of the drum, and then it'll do its cycling by going in, a prescribed amount. And I think I have it set to 4 inches now. And then it goes out and then goes in another 4 inches with tremendous force. Now for a smaller drum, this would probably destroy a smaller drum, but it goes and measures the smaller drum and automatically sets the pressure for smaller drums. Now, when it stops, there's a certain number of cycles it's programmed to do. I think we're set at 5 cycles now. You can adjust that on the HMI. And when it stops, it goes to a clamping pressure where you can lift and raise it. So this is a nice, comfortable pressure to raise. Now, once you're at elevation, you can invert the drum. And in this case, our customer did not want any product contact. We don't have a chute on here. You would just open up the lid and scoop onto a scale. This is for a dispensary application where there are several excipients and active ingredients and all going into each campaign. So I'll rotate this back upright. And a very strong inversion drive in here. You can see how it moves, every axis the way they move. It's got motion profiles. You can see it go through a nice gentle acceleration, real accurate control, and then you see when it gets near its position, it ramps down in speed and then stops, and then a brake engages. You power it off right now, it doesn't go anywhere. It's got a check valve in it. So I'll lower it back down. And you can't unclamp it when it's elevated. There's a lot of safeties. You can't invert it unless it's raised up enough. You can't hit the leg with the inversion arm. You don't have to open the machine up at all to make any adjustments. You can either do it on an HMI or through a teach mode, where you'll teach the position. So it encodes all the positions, the lift and inversion, and that's our standard machine. Being our standard machine, this whole assembly will actually come off too. You can put a drum attachment on here, lift a drum with a cone on it, and invert the drum and discharge into another piece of process equipment with the same machine. Inside here, when you take the arms off, they're clamping connectors. You just pull the connectors off, pull it off, You could put a fork attachment on here and then go around, and now, you know, in a matter of minutes, you're lifting bins. And this is a standard attachment point here where you can attach a drum cradle on here. So it's very versatile. Okay, so I'm gonna open, are we down all the way? Yep. And I'll open the arms, and I'll just give a demonstration of pulling these arms off. Very simple. Anything the operator needs to do does not require any tools. It's all tool free. It's all sanitary, number 4 finish, 304 stainless steel. Would be 316 product contact surfaces, but they're all none. So there it is, off. It's reasonably light. And I'll put this down on this dolly. Safe. So just like that, now we have 2 points of contact, and I'll raise it up a little. And now we're going to be applying a lot of pressure on this side of the drum. Okay, start the cycle. So there's the feeling pressure. Just measure the drum, knows where it's at, and then applies a lot of pressure. And with the large drum, it's probably putting 2,000 psi on this drum right now. Okay, well that's the hold of our pendant. And this machine can also be controlled by the pendant. Okay, I'll open, close, that up, raise, lower, yeah, raise, and I'll just put a little pressure on the top part of the drum there. And you can see with 2 points of contact, it's really an extreme amount of force it puts on there. We haven't run into a material that we can't break up yet. And if we do, well, we'll upsize the thing until it can. Well, actually, this is an upsize from a really tough material. So I'll open that. Okay, so you can raise, lower, invert. If you press the reset set button and close at the same time, it'll also run the automatic sequence. There are 2 pendant positions on here. Make it perfectly mobile. We have a touchscreen HMI on here where you can adjust all the parameters like clamping pressure, etc. It'll let you know if anything's going wrong with the machine. Of course, emergency stop, reset push button. It's fully washed down, NEMA 4X, watertight, even the touchscreen, all the electrical controls you can wash down with a hose, and the whole machine, very easy to clean. We have a disconnect back here. It runs off of 110 volts AC, and we have a few magic tricks in there. Yes, it's a variable speed 3-phase AC motor inside. but we're running it off a single phase through an inverter. Pneumatic hookup, quick disconnect. Our panel shop is UL 508A approved. On the back here is our motor nameplate, and we have a QR code on there that if you take a picture of that, it will bring you to the operating instructions and our website. And down here is our repurposing link on the QR code. We'll buy back any machine after it's done its service and repurpose it for other applications.
Hydraulic?
There's no hydraulics. No, it's all air. We get a lot of specifications saying no hydraulics. We do have a hydraulic version, and we might be obsoleting that because we just get so many people saying no to hydraulics. So this is very large air cylinders in it, and they're tandem air cylinders, and you can see how it moves, that they're coordinated together too. You won't have one going in more than the other. They're always in tandem, mechanically. Emergency stop here, emergency stop there. And that's about it.